This right here is my 2024 Beta RR480, and in this video I'm starting the build process as I turn this bike into a bit of a dual sport, super lightweight adventure bike setup. Now I was waiting on a few other bits and pieces to arrive, but I'm just too excited, so it's time to start throwing some goodies on the big 480 and get this build underway. So come along for the ride guys, follow along with the process and see how the bike build turns out. G'day Tool Adventurers, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well as usual, and welcome to the garage guys. Today I'm finally starting the build process on my Beta RR480. Beta, I don't really know guys, it's going to be the DRZ chat all over again, so let me know down in the comments, Beta. But anyway guys, I've got a few products here ready to go on the bike and I can't wait to start getting them on. I was going to wait for a few other things to arrive before I started doing this and videoing this, but I just couldn't wait. I'm too excited to start putting a few of these things on. I'll take you guys back here, show you what things I've got at the moment and what we're going to be chucking on the bike today. So here we are guys, here's all the goodies that I'm going to be chucking on the bike here today. But before I show you guys what I've actually got here ready to go on, if you haven't seen my videos previously about this bike, you wouldn't have heard me talk about what I actually want to do with the bike and how I want to sort of build it going forward. But I'm looking to turn it into a bit of a dual sport, lightweight adventure bike setup without going over the top, meaning that I don't have to remove too much stuff if I want to turn it into a bit of an enduro bike and go do some kind of event. So that's what I'm looking to do with this bike. The only things that I've done to it so far is I've done a bit of a tail tidy up on the rear end. The stock rear end that mounts the number plate and the indicators is pretty big, hangs pretty low, which is standard on all these road registered dirt bikes. So I've removed that, made it look a bit cleaner, and I've also added a Kriega front haul loop up here, which I do have to adjust today. I think I've mounted it wrong. I need to lower the way it's mounted there. So I'll be doing that in this video here today. Now, if any of you have been around on the channel for a while now, guys, you would have seen me with all my DRZ videos, any of my other bikes that I've had previously. I'm pretty particular with looking after them, keeping them clean and tidy and looking new at all times. It's going to be no different with this bike, guys. So I've aimed at the sort of protection side of things to look after the bike, keep it looking fresh and new moving forward. So that's pretty much what most of these parts right here are going to be. Moving on to all these goodies that are going on the bike today. First two here are both from Polisport. Now this is their clutch cover protector, and obviously the other one here is the ignition cover protector for the other side. I wish I got these things a little bit earlier because on my first ride I did drop the bike and I've already scuffed up this side over here. Live and learn. Would have been nice to have them earlier, but is what it is. They'll go on today, and any other drops in the future I'll be well protected. So these last two items here, guys, are both from Ballards Off-Road. Quick shout out to the legends at Ballards. I reached out to the team there and said I was starting this build and I wanted these products anyway, so they were more than happy to jump on board and help me out. Massive shout out to the team at Ballards. First thing I got right here, guys, these right here are some fork wrap guards. Now these are carbon fiber ones. I will give you guys a close up of all these things anyway, so you'll be able to see how good they actually look, but can't wait to get them on there. It'll change the overall look of the bike, which is cool, but obviously going to protect my forks from any sticks and rocks and all that kind of stuff coming up. So that'll be a nice easy one for me to chuck on. And the second thing here, guys, in this box, these things look absolutely unreal. I've obviously already had a cheeky little look, but these are some radiator guards, guys. Nice and black Billet radiator guards here from Ballards again. Have a look at those guys. How good do they look? Real solid and sturdy. I can't wait to get these on. They're going to do a much better job than these plastic ones that are on here currently, and they're going to look way better. I mean, who wouldn't like the look of those? They're the four products that I've got here to go on today, guys. Pretty easy installs. It shouldn't take me too long. There was a few other things that I was waiting on. I've currently got some bark busters on order. I wanted the Ego bark busters, which I have on the DRZ over there, but they aren't made for this bike. They don't suit with the way these cables are up here. I did a test fit, but no good. So I'm waiting on the specially made ones that go on this bike. So they're a bit of a special order. So hopefully they're here in the next week or two. They would have been included in this protection stage with the bark busters going on there. And the other thing that I'm toying with, guys, is a bit of a graphics kit on the bike. I've got a few in mind that I want to do. Whether I want to do a full custom one or not yet, I'm not too sure. But I'll come up with something soon. So hopefully I can save all these plastics for if I ever do sell the bike. These can be all fresh and new, and I'll just put my own custom set on. There is one other thing that I got to show you guys. It's not really in the protection stage, but it's here ready to go, so I might as well chuck it on today here as well. But all of this good stuff here, guys, is from the legends at Kriega. Remember, guys, up until the end of the year, if you want to use the code JOSHJB, you can save yourself 5% on Kriega's gear on kriega.com.au, so make sure you jump over there if you are in need of any of this stuff. But they've sent me one of their dirt bike bases. I've already played around with it, as you can see, but there's the dirt bike base. And I've also got their OS 6s, got one mounted up here, the other one here. So that's gonna go nice and neat on this bike. Should be good for those day rides. Just enough room to keep some spare tubes and stuff like that, any camera gear that I'm taking, things like that. So nice and light and small for this smaller bike. And as well as that, guys, the kit comes with this right here, which is an Achirby's exhaust guard. So that'll go on there where the luggage sits, that'll sit on that. So I guess you could class that as a protection as well, for if I drop the bike, that's gonna protect the exhaust as well. So I'll probably get that on today. And they also sent me a nice tool roll, which I will be using on this bike. I'll get all the specific tools that I need for this, keep them in that. And then there's just the other bits and pieces that go with the OS base there, with these OS rack loops, which mount through the back fender to hold that on there. And then you've also got their OS dirt bike rings, which mount down on the side of the frame and tie the whole base in. So plenty of good gear there to chuck on today, guys. Enough chit chat, let's get cracking. Let's get this Beta RR480 build underway. There you go, guys, easy stuff done. Fork guards, clip on there, pretty simple. I fixed up the haul loop, Kriega haul loop up the front there. I had to move it down and mount it underneath here. Where I had it up on top, it could slide up and down. So I've moved it down below. So if that ever needs to be yanked on, it's not gonna go anywhere. And then obviously those Polisport guards, pretty simple to put on. I did have to go back and redo the clutch side again. As you can see, here's two different size bolts. And the kit does come with replacement bolts that are about 3-4 mil longer than these ones to account for the thickness of the covers. But for some reason, the first kit had the bolts from the second one. So I did the clutch side first, and the 3 bolts that came in the kit were around about this long, but the 3 that I pulled out, 2 of them were about this long, and the other one was around this long. So I just decided to use the ones that had come out and put them back in, and they worked. But then it wasn't until I got to this engine ignition side that I realized the bolts that were in this kit suited the other side. So I went back and changed them anyways. It's all done proper as it should be. But now it's time to move on to the radiator guards. There's a few bolts to go with that, so I figured I'd leave that till last, but I can't imagine it's gonna be too hard. Jump into that, get these Ballards Billet radiator guards on, see how they look. So guys, I'm just having a quick look at how these radiator guards fit up before I dive in head first. But you would have already seen, I removed this plastic bit, really easy, they just pop out. And then this radiator guard just utilizes these 2 bolts that are already here, holding the radiator to the frame. And then there's 2 other bolts for each side in the kit that just mount on this side of the radiator. Boom, boom, 4 bolts, 2 that come in the kit, 2 that are already on there, easy done. So that's the radiator guards on there, guys. They look absolutely awesome. I love it. The black really suits this bike. I want to go for a bit of a black and red look, so the fork guards and the radiator guards here are setting it off nicely. Really easy install. Only thing I had to do was swap out these larger washers which were on the inside that mount the radiators to the frame. So just had to swap that out with a smaller washer that come in the kit because this one doesn't work up on the inside of the radiator guards. But now that those radiator guards are on, guys, I'll get the plastics back on, get the seat back on, get this bike back together. So guys, the final thing I'm going to do to the bike today is fit up this Kriega OS base and all the stuff that comes with it. I showed you it all at the start of the video. I've got some instructions here as well of how to get it done, but I've done this before on other bikes, so I should be able to figure it out pretty quickly. But if any of you are interested and want to know how this stuff fits up, it's really, really easy. So these right here, guys, are your OS rings. Comes with 2 in the kit, 1 for each side of the bike. Now what the role of these things is, guys, it mounts down as close to your foot peg as you can get it on the frame, and that's what your base ties to down there near your foot peg. Velcro, all you got to do, unwind it, find a position down there on your frame, Velcro this up until it's all the way wound up. That's done, easy. 1 on each side of the bike, and then your base down here will just hook to that. And as for mounting it up top here, guys, that's where these OS rack loops come in handy. I've got 4 of them in this kit, so you can use all 4 if you want, and that'll give you the ability to run just a bag up here on its own without the base. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to use 2 of them to get this base fitted up. But basically all you got to do, guys, is use the instructions. It's got some rough measurements of where these things go up here on your back fender. Drill 2 holes, mount these in there, and then your base hooks to those and down to the OS dirt bike rings near the foot pegs, and away you go. Tighten the strap, boom, you're on. Fit whatever bags up you've got, the 6 litre, the 12, the 18, all different sizes, and away you go, guys. It's really, really simple system. I've punished it on the DRZ, no issues. I had it on the 10RA, it's been fine, so no reason why it isn't going to be great on the big 480. The only thing different in this kit compared to on the DRZ, guys, the other one didn't come with the Acerbi's heat shield guard here that goes on the exhaust. That's just specific to the dirt bike kit. Obviously the dirt bike shows more of the exhaust, whereas the DRZ has some plastics there covering that bit. So it didn't actually require this, but I'll get this on there as well. I think it'll look pretty good. Let's get it all on. So I'm about to drill the 2 holes here, guys, for the OS loops right here. I've measured off the back of the Kriega OS base to the holes here. The instructions say 180 millimeters from the back here once you pull this tight. From the front end, 180 millimeters from there is the ideal measurement, but anywhere from 190 to 160 will work. Something I'm dealing with here on the Beta specifically, I don't know about other dirt bikes, but on the plastics here on the rear fender, the Beta has 2 grooves, 1 on each side, so can't really make these OS loops work in those grooves. I don't think they'll sit very good, so I've had to come in to the middle there a little bit more than I'd like, but it doesn't really matter, it's still gonna work. Just something to think about before you go drilling a hole straight through a groove, and this thing isn't gonna sit flat, it might not work properly. It's probably different on some other models, but just something to think about. Time to get the drill out, drill these holes, and we're done. So easy as that, guys. 2 holes done. They're mounted on there. Now I haven't fully tightened these up. It is an Allen key that does those up in a reverse thread. But what I like to do, I've done this on all my other bikes. I put the base here, hook it on, and then I pull it tight as if I was about to use it. And then all that does is just aligns these things, points them to the correct way of where they're gonna spend most of their time. And then I just tighten them down there, so I know they're always going to be pointing the exact way that I want them to. Well, there we have it, guys. Stage 1 of the build done. We've got the luggage on the back there from Kriega with the OS 6 bags, 1 on each side. Smallest ones you can get, but I think they'll be plenty for me for those day rides with all the stuff I need to carry. I might even be able to push it out to do an overnighter if I'm doing a pub stay or a hotel stay. They might be big enough, we'll see. But I've got all the other bags over here behind me I can interchange on sizing. We've done those covers down on the engine, the clutch cover and the ignition cover as well, those Polisport covers. So really happy that they're on there to protect those on each side. And then massive shout out to the guys at Ballards for jumping on board here and helping me out with the radiator guards and those fork protectors as well. I love the look of both of them, and I'm really starting to like the look of the black and red combo that I got going on. And obviously I already had the Kriega haul loop up front there. So a few bits and pieces done there, guys. This is only stage one, so there's plenty of other stuff to do. As I said, waiting on those bark busters. Next time you see the bike in a video, they'll probably already be on there. But there's a few other big items that I've got on my list and I want to get very shortly once I've got the cash ready to go. I want to get a larger fuel tank, not massive, nothing compared to the DRZ's 17 litre tank. It's a service tank I've been looking at. I think it's around 12, 13 litres. So not too much larger than what's on this, but it should be enough to get me through for what I want to do with the bike. And then there's a bash plate as well that I really want to get. So once I've got the funds there, I'll be getting those on order. Seats, another big ticket item, but I'm not sure when I'm going to do that. I might just see how this stock one goes for now anyway. That's some of the things that I want to get done very shortly on the bike, guys, as well after this, but stage one is done. But thanks for sticking around, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this first episode of the beta build. Plenty more stuff to come, so make sure you subscribe if you want to see all of that into the future. Like the video if you did get something out of this one, guys. And remember, if you want to get some Kriega gear, jump over to kriega.com.au, use the code JoshJB, guys. Save yourself some money there up until the end of December. You can save yourself 5% on all of their good quality stuff. Remember, if you want to come for the ride with the Endeavour team at the end of January next year, guys, jump over to Endeavour website. I'll put the link down below in this video's description. Use the code JB10. You can save yourself 10% on the waterfall tour, which I'm doing with them at the end of January. It's going to be an awesome ride, guys, so jump on board of that if you are keen. But once again, guys, massive shout out to all of you for tuning in and watching these videos. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really does help out the channel, guys. Ride safe on your road tool adventures. See you in the next one. Yeah, if you want. Thanks, dude.